build in this video is designed to work for almost all weapon types. If you are somebody who loves to swap around their weapon types mid-fight or are still exploring a true weapon type to main, this setup might be just the thing for you. This build itself has a great mix of passive and active bonuses that creates a perfect blend of comfort and sweatiness, all thanks to how good the individual Zoh Shia armor pieces are. At the theoretical max, and not accounting for coefficients, the build will grant 58 raw attack for most weapons with an extra 2 raw if you're wielding a greatsword or a hunting horn. It will also provide 60 element for most weapons, plus 5% of your base element attack. The flat value is amped if you're using a greatsword or hunting horn to 80 and lowered to 40 if you're using the dual blades. And lastly, this setup will net us 70% affinity before accounting for whatever particular weapon you'll be using with this build. To achieve all this, we'll be combining 3 pieces of Zoh Shia armor with 2 pieces of the Gore Magala set. This will grant us the Zoh Shia 2-piece armor set skill that gradually restores our health. At 2 pieces, the set bonus will heal you for 1 HP every 2 seconds. This passive health recovery will help us stay on the offensive without having to worry about healing over minor scratches, nicks, or bruises. And while we're on the offensive, the 2 pieces of Gore will inflict us with Frenzy, and when we attack a bunch of times, we'll cure ourselves from that Frenzy, which will net us bonus affinity. This bonus affinity, when augmented with Antivirus 3, which is very easy to get, amounts to a total of 25 extra affinity. To be more precise, we'll be equipping the Zoh Shia Helmet Beta, the Zoh Shia Chest Beta, the Gore Magala Gloves Beta, the Zoh Shia Waist Beta, and the Gore Magala Greaves Beta. And to top it off, we'll be equipping the level 3 Counter-Strike Charm. Once we slot in all of our decorations, we'll gain these skills. 3 pieces of Zoh Shia grants us the level 5 version of Agitator, all while providing us with ample decoration slots. When a monster is big mad, we'll gain 20 raw attack and 15 affinity until it is no longer mad. Fun tip, paralyzing or stunning the monster while it is agitated can prolong how active this skill is. So if you're trying to net some A ranks in the challenge arenas and you have a build that has Agitator equipped, abusing that little trick might be the key to getting that time or not. Next up, we'll be slotting in 2 levels of Weakness Exploit. At level 2, Weakness Exploit increases our affinity by 10% when hitting a weak point and a further 5% when hitting a wound. While we could put an extra point in Weakness Exploit to make it level 3, shifting that final 3rd decoration slot to the next skill will net us more overall DPS. And that final skill that we're talking about is Burst level 1. When you land 5 consecutive hits within a 3-second interval, this skill will trigger, granting most weapons 8 raw attack and 60 elements. For Greatsword and Hunting Horns though, you'll gain 10 attack and 80 elements. It is extremely efficient and works great for almost all weapons, even including the Greatsword. Initially, I really don't think Burst would have fit really well with Greatsword, but with how consistent your hits are thanks to Focus Strike with the Greatsword, there won't be a lot of issues once you get the hang of the Greatsword in landing 5 consecutive hits consistently while you're fighting, even if all the hits are a variation of the Charge Slash. Though if you do want to upkeep Burst on Greatsword, having Focus level 3 will help you with this tremendously. Next up is everyone's favorite skill, Counter-Strike 3, a skill that is way too good to pass up on. If you get knocked down, you immediately get 25 attack for 45 seconds. That gets refreshed whenever you get knocked down again. And if you're feeling fancy, offsetting or parrying an attack that would knock you down otherwise will also grant you this skill. If you land that offset attack or not, you'll be rewarded with 25 extra attack, or a reset to this buff duration, which actually encourages me to go for those spicy offsets, and maybe it will for you too. We'll also gain 1 point of Coalescence, boosting our element attack by 5% of our base element attack whenever this skill is active. Essentially 5% of your weapon's base element attack for any other calculations. This skill will mainly trigger when we cure ourselves of Frenzy, but if you ever get hit by fire from Zoh Shia or Mitsune, once you roll around and quell the flame debuff, you'll also trigger the skill because any blight will count towards the skill's activation. With 1 free level 2 decoration slot, you can either level up Coalescence to level 2 or put it into something different. For this video, I'll be running 1 point of Resentment. Whenever we have red recoverable health, we'll gain 5 attack. While not huge, oftentimes throughout the fight, you'll be taking very minor damage as the monster is moving around and you're attacking it. And while you won't have that red health for long, since it happens so often naturally anyways, why not gain something from it? This is especially true if you have to be stationary for a period of time, like with the Greatsword's charge attacks. In most cases, you'll want to get hit at least once anyways to trigger Counter-Strike, so there's also a high chance you'll trigger Resentment when you do that as well. And for our last offensively oriented skill, we can't forget about arguably the best 2-slot decoration skill in the game next to Counter-Strike, and that is Maximum Might. At level 3, we gain 30% affinity whenever our stamina is full. Most weapon types, barring the dual blades, can easily maintain 100% stamina while attacking, so it essentially becomes a free 30% affinity almost all of the time. Even if you're rolling around and moving around, for most weapons your stamina will still be able to regenerate as you're attacking. The rest of our skills are more quality of life than anything else. First, we have 1 level of Constitution, which lowers the stamina cost of any actions that uses stamina by 10%. Then we have 1 level of Evade Window, granting a minor increase to the amount of iframes we have when we dodge. We'll also get 1 point of Flinch Free, which prevents knockback from minor attacks. The next skill, Recovery Up level 1, increases the amount of health recovered when restoring health, from items like potions to mega potions, to endemic life like the Vigor Wasp, and even your Zoh Shia armor skill set bonus. On the other hand, Recovery Speed level 1 increases how fast your red health recovers. While not great when considering resentment, it does help your Zoh Shia armor skill kick in much faster. Through playtesting, I found that this setup has just the right amount of chill and tryhard. If you're not playing well or are just trying to unwind for the day and not focus too hard on the game, Agitator, Zoh Shia's armor set bonus, and Counter-Strike will be there to reward you no matter how you play. On the opposite hand, if you're really feeling it that day and want to go hard, Black Eclipse 1, Weakness Exploit, Burst, and even properly timing Resentment plus Counter-Strike to be active at the right time will be there for you to strive towards. For a more optimized build that uses a very similar setup as this build, check out my Zoh Shia Switch Axe build, video on the top right of the screen and in the description below. While that particular build tries its hardest to abuse Convert Element and the White Flame Torrent, you can always amp up the consistency of the build by tweaking some of the decorations and charms, but that's a topic that won't get covered in the video, so I'll save it for when you go over there. Anyways, question for you all. How do you feel about the Counter-Strike skill? We can all agree that it's a strong skill, but do you like it or do you dislike it? Let us know in the comments below. As always, support your boy by hitting that like button and subscribe for more Monster Hunter Wilds content. Thanks. With the Sakura Tide Festival and the Arc-Tempered Raidal quickly approaching, if you're looking to tackle these challenges with others, be sure to join my community squad. Squad ID on screen and in the description below. If time permits, I'll be hosting hunting parties during the weekend, so maybe I'll catch you there. For the weapon skills and decorations, well, that depends. It's going to be heavily dependent on whatever you want to use. As a base template, I'll be assuming whatever weapon type you're using, you're gonna be rocking the Zoh Shia weapons just because of how badass they look. With said Zoh Shia weapons, I highly recommend using the 2-slot and 1-slot deco on critical boost. The 3-slot decoration version of critical boost cannot have any other skills attached to it anyways, so why not use a 3-slot decoration skill on other 3-slot decos that can do that. If you're using a weapon with good innate high sharpness, however, it might be worthwhile to use the level 3 decoration slot for a level 5 critical boost. But that's highly dependent on the weapon type as well. For most crafted weapons though, we want to use 3-slot deco for something like, let's say, Greatsword you use Focus plus Handicraft or Slugger, while other weapons can rock something like Razor Sharp plus Handicraft or Element Attack level 3 plus 1 level of Handicraft or even Crit Element. Whatever you decide to do with your weapons, this build will be more than great at supporting that weapon of choice. On a final note, out of all the Zoh Shia weapons, which one has your favorite design? Let us know in the comments below. While I may have some bias towards the dual blades as I love the duality aspect of the weapon, it's very Kingdom Hearts-esque, and also I main that weapon type, so it's, you know, super biased. But even then, I still can't decide between that or the Great Sword or the Switch Axe or the Charged Blade or the Sword and Shield, even the bow, and I'm sure once I see the gun lance, I'm gonna probably love that too. Oh man, the weapons are just so well designed. It also helps that there's a bunch of minor details sprinkled in there, like if you're doing a certain attack animations or you get a certain buff, the weapon will look different, and oh man, I love that stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching. For more fun builds, check out this video on screen right now. My name is Varsona, and I'll see you in the next video.